It all started when I saw that there was a room in the living room for the chess piece queen with a big red cross on it, signaling that she had already been abstracted. I would be very surprised if she, I suggest calling her Queener, had nothing to do with Kinger, given the obvious similarity. Most likely she was his wife, and I suspect that her abstraction was a turning point that made him lose his marbles. But it gets even more interesting. Jack says that Kinger is the oldest person of all, and by the end of the pilot he is surprised at the technical language that Kinger uses to describe the sensation of food in the digital world. Since when have you been an expert in the digital world? So here's my theory. I believe that Kinger and his wife Queener were the ones who developed the Amazing Digital Circus and/or the technology that allows people to transfer to the digital world, called CNA. Maybe the initials of Kinger and Queener's real names. This explains his technical knowledge. Due to a malfunction, he and his wife were transferred and stuck on the Amazing Digital Circus in its unfinished state. There is a small detail that, as you might think, works against this theory. In the living quarters, we also see rooms for other characters who have been abstracted, which go earlier than Kinger and Queener's rooms, implying that they were not the first to get stuck. However, I don't think this matters much, as Pomni's room is right in the middle of the hallway. Maybe Kinger and Queener were experimenting late at night when they transferred to the digital world. After their disappearance in the real world, CNA closed down, leaving its building abandoned. Here are just hard speculations. What I believe in is that Kinger was a key figure working on the development of the Amazing Digital Circus. A little more. Throughout the episode, Kinger is scared of Gangla existence several times. When Pomni is looking for Cain, we see how she opens the door to a room where a mannequin is taking a bath. Then a large theatrical mask of anger flies towards Pomni with a loud scream before she closes the door. I think it's quite possible that Kinger had a lot of bad experience with these mannequins, which makes it easy to scare him with Gangla masks. Also, Bubble might be a more interesting character than you think. This is the only thing, besides people, that Cain, apparently, cannot control. Also, mannequins can be real people. At least some of them definitely have rooms allocated for living quarters. This either means that they are people, possibly CNA workers, or that NPCs also get rooms, which I think can be both. However, if they are people, the thought that they can torment Kinger becomes much more interesting. Insect collection theory. The insect collection that Kinger refers to is actually bugs, glitches, in the digital world. I think that Kinger and possibly even Quinney were bug testers, playing the game to find any glitches that could be. This would make sense, as it would mean that by the time Kinger entered the digital circus, it was still new. And, according to Jax, Kinger has allegedly been there longer than anyone else. The fact that Kinger called it an insect collection may be a result of his mind slipping, and he may have forgotten who he is and why he was playing the game in the first place. Maybe the memories of other characters will be, or already are, distorted. So, in Tadsy, when Pomni is chasing an abstract Kaufmo, I think that's his name, right? She runs past a mirror and stops to look at herself in it, as if she has a moment of nostalgia or something like that. We also see this when she looks at the computer in the utility rooms of the exit doors before she has a mental breakdown. I think that, since we know, perhaps we are dealing with a situation similar to San Junipero, where someone, possibly a circus fan, created a digital version of the afterlife for a copy of your consciousness after your death. Pomni can't see herself because she is either busy or dead and she has been swept away. I assume that Cain is a copy of the creator, who was a bit mad, which was accidentally implemented, and it either led to his death, or he refused and forgot about the project after a copy was injected into him. Cain's copy uses this knowledge to control the circus. Because of his madness and the realization that if they leave, they will cease to exist as a copy and just die, he does not allow anyone to escape. so as never to stop having fun or leave himself. Anyone who stumbles upon one of the headsets will simply supplement his world to make it a little more interesting for himself. Perhaps Jax had some relationship to Cain before the injection, possibly as a second partner or younger brother, Abel, who helped with the project. This explains his keys and overall cheeky behavior. Cain's copy used his knowledge to take control of the circus after the injection, which was his reaction to the injection. Jax's response seems much calmer and literal. He knows that even if he controls the circus, he is locked there as a copy of consciousness forever. Pomni will find a way out during the series, and then, as soon as she gets it, Kinger will be used to tell Cain about the plan, seducing him to return Queener. This is shown in the style of The Last Supper at the end of the pilot series, where Pomni, in the role of Jesus, and the king is in the place of Judas, the betrayer of Jesus. Thus, Ayerk Cain was described as an artificial intelligence program in promotional materials, which responds and controls the world of the circus, where people are, making them go on adventures for their own entertainment. These characters repeat several times that they do not need to eat, sleep, drink, etc. I don't think they ever talk about it directly, but I think it can be safely assumed that they can't really die, just abstract, which still seems to be alive. The concept of an omnipotent AI, trapping a group of immortal people in a certain area and making them run on various missions, tormenting them for their own entertainment, while they, the people, are looking for a way out, sounds almost tacked, like the premise of "I have no mouth and I must scream." Cain's design may even be an ironic reference to the title of the book. The mouth is his main facial feature. Another comparison is that each of them has a character who is part of the main group looking for a way out, to evolve into a more primitive state, but this is more of a vague comparison. Another theory is that Pomni is also an artificial intelligence, and the computer she freaked out on, and we're talking about at the end, is the terminal she's on. Actually don't believe, just spit. Yes, many believe that mannequins serve as temporary placeholders until a new person appears. I noticed some features in the physical form of Remember that confirm this theory. She has large shoulders, they are round. If you pay attention to any of the mannequins, whether in real life or in the series, you will notice that they all have large shoulders. This supports the theory that mannequins serve as temporary placeholders. I assume that Remember looked at her reflection in the mirror in this way because she had never seen her digital form, Pony, before. It seems that she is a completely new person. She no longer remembers her original human form, and this is strange for her. Her new body seems strange to her. It's understandable, and I don't blame her. I would also go crazy if I forgot everything about myself and got stuck in a digital world where everything around me is abstracted, or, in the end, I would go crazy and become an abstraction myself.